Welcome to Mind Life Weekly. My name is Derek and this channel is all about simple psychology for everyday life. Today we'll be going through an overview of motivation. So without any further ado, let's dive in. Introduction to motivation. In the book The Brothers Karamazov, Fyodor Dostoevsky wrote, "The mystery of human existence lies not in just staying alive, but in finding something to live for. That something is a person's goal. Others refer to it as a dream or an ambition. No matter what one chooses to call it, it's what keeps a person motivated. For the purpose of consistency, this video series on motivation will refer to this something to live for as a goal. Goals are essential in life. Setting goals provides directions. It sets one's path. Nonetheless, having goals and realizing these goals are two different things and should not be confused with each other. Goal setting is the first step to attaining a successful and high quality of life. But the realization of these goals gives value to a person's existence. It differentiates a successful person from a mediocre one. In spite of this reality, lots of people still have a hard time with the realization part. It's probably because it is what requires more effort and work. This puts off many individuals from carrying out their plans. Often the biggest problem people have with achieving goals is getting started. It's best to keep Newton's first law of motion in mind. It states that bodies at rest tend to stay at rest. The same is true with goals. They'll remain as goals, something to be desired or wanted, unless the goal setter decides to move and do something to accomplish their goals. However, attaining one's goals is easier said than done. Hence, many people simply refuse to take action. The key to being successful in taking one's goal to completion is to remain motivated. And the way to keep this motivation is to keep the desire aflame. Desire is an offshoot of a strong determination and relentless commitment to achieve something and not stop until one does. Learn from the words of Mario Andretti. Desire is the key to motivation, but it's determination and commitment to an unrelenting pursuit of your goal, a commitment to excellence that will enable you to attain the success you seek. This video series aims to discuss motivation and the ways to achieve maximum motivation, enabling a person to realize anything their mind imagines and their heart desires. This will serve as a reminder or an inspiration, whichever one you need, of the value of motivation and its essentiality in achieving excellence in life. The difference of successful people lies in their achievements in life. Success is not based on gender, social status, religious affinity, beliefs, or even educational attainment. Successful people are successful because they are achievers. They set their goals and they achieve them. Consequently, their lives become meaningful. To be able to know what successful people do differently in their lives, let's focus on their mindset that allows them to take it a step further than most. It takes just two simple steps. 1. Get motivated. 2. Have an action plan to follow. Whether one believes it or not, that is pretty much how successful people do it differently. These steps look simple at first glance. However, in reality, it is really hard to follow through. This is the reason why only a small fraction of the world's population can really be considered successful. This video guide will expand on these two ideas as it progresses. Likewise, it will try to present ways on how to troubleshoot all the possible reasons on why people procrastinate. As the video series continues to move forward on the discussion on motivation, it's best to keep these two simple steps in mind. More often than not, the problems and conflicts that most people face in their everyday lives have nothing to do with all the elaborate stories they tell themselves. Usually, these are just consequences of not having enough motivation, losing sight of their priorities, or not having an action plan. There are times when they have the motivation they need, but they have nowhere to put it. They don't know where to begin, how to start, or what to do. As a result, frustration takes over motivation and they give up. They just refuse to take any action at all. This is the sad end to their story of success. Therefore, each time a person has a goal or needs to do a project, it's best to reflect on the following questions before starting. It might make the difference between success and failure. 1. Am I motivated? 2. Do I have an action plan? With regards to action plans, keep in mind that they are not merely to-do lists. Instead, action plan refers to the act of setting goals and acting on them to transform them into an action goal. Action plans aim to see the actualization of goals. To learn more about converting goals into action goals, the video playlist on our channel titled The Flawless Future discusses everything one needs to know about goals, action goals, and how they motivate the goal setter. In order to get stuff done, one needs to stay motivated. This is an important reality. Motivation is to a person like fuel is to an engine. It drives, pushes, and keeps a person going. Simply say, if there is no motivation, there will be no action. Another fact to remember is that human beings are goal-oriented. People need tasks. They need to have something to aspire towards, something to achieve, something to desire, and something to want. Goals keep human beings motivated. A good example, as mundane as it may sound, is the alarm clock buzzes at 7 o'clock every morning. It does not really matter if a person has just slept 30 minutes or for the past 8 hours. They're aware of the need to go to work and they already set a definite plan beforehand. Therefore, the person gets out of the bed despite all the hesitations in their head. There is no need to think or analyse the situation. Their actions will be automatic. Not waking up might get them fired and things will be difficult for them and their family. The possible consequences of missing work would be enough motivation for any person to wake up early in the morning. Another reason is the reality that most people would choose to do meaningless tasks which have clearly defined step by step rather than do something meaningful. However, they are clueless of how to do it or what is expected of them. Webster defines motivation as the act or process of giving someone a reason for doing something. It can also be defined as a force or influence that causes someone to do something. The encyclopedic entry for motivation states that it is the factor or factors within a human being or animal that arouse and direct goal-oriented behaviour. It further mentions that motivation has long been a central subject of study in psychology. Hence, it has influenced many scientists in their studies and research. This just shows that motivation is truly important in life. Behavioural psychologists stress the importance of external goals in prompting action, while humanistic psychologists examine the role of felt needs. Felt needs refer to an individual's or a group's belief that they need something. Hence, it is usually limited by individual perceptions and knowledge. On the other hand, cognitive psychologists have found that a motive sensitizes a person to information relating to that motive. In summary, motivation is something that initiates, guides, and maintains goal-oriented behaviours. It involves biological, emotional, social, and cognitive forces that activate behaviour. Scientists list down 3 major components to motivation: activation, persistence, and intensity. Activation involves the decision to initiate the behaviour. Persistence is the continued effort toward a goal even though obstacles may exist. Finally, intensity can be seen as the concentration and vigour that goes into pursuing a goal. These components are vital in keeping motivation alive in any person. In our discussion so far, one can conclude that goals and motivations indeed go hand in hand. Therefore, one of the keys to building and keeping the fire inside a person that would allow them to get things done alive is to have clear and specific goals. Clear and specific goals, like action goals, can be broken down into simple action steps. Goals are expounded and explained further in the video playlist titled The Flawless Future. Conclusion. Motivation is the desire to do things. It makes the difference between waking up before dawn to pound the pavement and lazing around the house all day. It is the crucial element in setting and attaining goals. Within the context of this video, motivation will be in terms of action goals and true goals and how it brings things to life. This video series on motivation will focus and talk about some tips and tricks that one can use to supercharge their motivation. That's about it from me. Mind Life Weekly will continue to have many more discussions on motivation, especially its Achilles heel, procrastination. Procrastination is the bane to success, the one thing that prevents people from rising to the top and soaring. Once you understand what it is, you can eradicate it for good. So stay motivated for our next fascinating video. As always, thank you for watching. If you learned something in this video, show us your appreciation by tapping the like button on your way out. Remember to subscribe and hit the bell icon to stay informed when our next video is out, which will be much sooner than you think.